I'm Ellen from the Spellbound Bead Company. These three designs are made using the same colours of wooden beads. They're all Halloween inspired. First two here are both used just using seal-on text and just straight strung onto those, just in differing patterns. The third one, the bracelet here at the back, is uses two strands, and this is the one I'm going to show you how to make. And I'll also show you how to add the clasp onto the end. To make this bracelet, we're going to use some 8mm, 6mm and 4mm wooden rounds, and we're just going to thread it onto two strands of seal-on text. They're both about 30 centimetres in length. So the first thing we want to do is take some clear nail varnish and just paint that onto the end of your cord. This will stop it fraying whilst you're trying to thread it through the holes in your beads. Get a bit more on there. If you haven't got any clear nail varnish, PVA glue will work exactly the same, might just take a little bit longer to dry. So once you've finished your ends, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to tie a little knot in the other end of your cord. Just to keep the two strands together. Okay. Once your nail varnish has dried, what we're going to do is thread on, first of all, thread on one 6mm round, like so. We're just going to work along just on the first cord at the moment. So, one 6mm, then an 8mm, and then a 4mm. Then we're going to thread on another 6mm, like so, then a 4mm. Okay, and then I'm going to thread on an 8mm, and then we're just going to keep repeating that pattern. So it's going to go green, black, orange, black, green, black, orange, black, all the way along. So that's our repeating pattern. Obviously you can use any coloured beads that you like. And then just continue along until you've got your bracelet to your desired length. So once you've completed your strand, I've used 6 repeats of the same pattern. This will give me a bracelet of approximately 6.5 inches in length. So I'm just going to add on the final 6mm round on the end there, just to keep your pattern symmetrical. And then what I'm going to do is take your second strand, and first of all we're going to pass that through the first 6mm bead, and then we're going to pass that thread through also through the 8mm bead, Hole's a little bigger in the 8mm, so it should be a little bit easier. So then, and pull that up tighter to the top. So you see you've got these 2 threads passing through the first 2 beads. Then I'm going to thread on a new 4mm bead. A new 6mm bead. And another new 4mm bead. And then we're going to pass the thread through the centre of the 8mm that was on the original string. Like that. So there are no new 8mm beads. We're no longer adding any new 8mm beads. We're simply adding the other sizes. So you're adding a 4mm, then a 6mm, then another 4mm, so, and then we're going to pass our thread through the 8mm bead on the other strand. If you pull it up tight, you can see the pattern starting to develop. So continue along your strand, 4mm, then a 6mm, then not an 8mm, another 4mm, and again. I can see it. There we go. So continue along your bracelet until you reach the other end. So once you've threaded your full sequence onto the second strand and you've passed your cord through both the beads on the end, you want to pull the beads tight into each other. Now you want the beads to be sitting nice and neatly next to each other, not offset like this. So you need to make sure that you move all your beads up and that the tension on each strand is the same. And then you want to tie a knot as close as possible right up next to the last bead. Now the easiest way to do this is if you tie a loose knot, and then if you take a pair of chain nose pliers, pass them through the centre of the knot like so, and then grip on to the cord where you want the knot to sit, just here, and then gently pull your cord so it knots around the pliers, and then as you're getting to where you want the knot to position, gently remove the pliers and ease the knot up into place. So then we've got a knot on either end. So now all we need to do is attach clasp. So I'm going to use some box lace ends. So this is going to sit over the knot. So just pop your knot in there. There's a little tooth on the inside of your lace end, so you make sure that that tooth sits between the bead and the knot so that it won't pull off the end. And then again, taking your pliers, just gently squeeze that closed over the knot, turn it round and do the same on the other side. And then we can just take a pair of scissors and trim any of the remaining cord that's sticking out off the end. And then taking your clasp of choice, in this case I'm using a simple lobster clasp, and just a 6mm jump ring. So if we pick our jump ring up, twist it open, pop it through the end of your box lace end and through your clasp, and then close it back up again, and then simply repeat on the other end, making sure your box end sits on that side of the knot. Close it, squeeze it closed, and again on the other side. Catching so it's nice and flat, and then just trim your threads. And this time I'm going to just add a ring onto the other end to clip it into. So there you've got a little autumn Halloween themed bracelet.